Hey everyone, welcome to MuseThemes.com. This is Ashton Bingham. Today we have a really cool new theme release called Barrel Select. This theme is designed with a winery or vineyard in mind, but can easily be adapted to numerous kinds of websites by changing some imagery and graphics around. Starting with our homepage here, this navigation is pretty noteworthy in my opinion because it finds a way to utilize the exact same method of nav for every single breakpoint, none of which feels weird or out of place. We have an accordion widget placed here at the very top, sitting over top of our logo and hamburger icon, and it's set to full width on every breakpoint, so no matter what device you're viewing on, it's easily clickable and accessible. If we click inside, we get our expanded accordion with all of our menu buttons placed within, pushing the rest of the site content down and out of the way. Now this is a customized navigation using several responsive state buttons, and what's really cool is that I can adjust the width of the browser within my same breakpoint here. And everything responds fluidly. Now if I close the menu, we can see that if I scale the browser all the way down, our same hamburger and accordion method remain, and I can expand this mobile view, showing the exact same action, only with simplified contents within. So let me stretch this back up, and we can check out our site footer. We have a simple but classy layout with lots of content here to work with and customize. Some quick links, contact info, and some social links as well. All rather straightforward, but still really engaging and nice on the eyes. So let's open our menu and click to the About page. We've got a longer page here with lots of room for text content as well as full-width visuals to break up the sections. And at the very bottom, we have some bios that have been built into this cool composition slider as well. And I'll also note that back on the top of the page, we have these quick links implemented that take the user to the various sections using page anchors. But we're going to go over that a little bit closer inside Muse. So back to our menu, let's click over to Shop. The site has a very adaptable but easy to use e-commerce layout already built in using our custom PayPal buttons widget. And we're going to see more of that in Muse as well, but you have complete freedom here, and I can click into any of these wines specifically to see a dedicated product page for it. Just like that, where we can include various versions, additional information, and of course our purchase links. Back in our menu, let's click to the blog page. We've got a really engaging blog implemented here. Now it's not a widget or an embed, but rather built directly into the site itself. We've got some sample layouts here, and even a separate full page for the posts themselves if I click into any one of these. And there we go. Tons of sample imagery and sample text for you to play around with. And at the very bottom, we've implemented our Discuss widget for users to log in and comment on your posts. Now, there's a few other simple pages on the site, like a newsletter page and stuff, but I'm just going to dive right into Muse so we can get the full scope of this theme and explore the finer points. So here we are with our Barrel Select theme. Nothing too overwhelming here. I think this is a great starting theme for anyone from really experienced Muse users all the way down to those who may just be starting. Now I'm going to dive into our master page first so we can get a feel for this navigation that's applied throughout the whole site. Now, as I said, we're working with a standard accordion widget that you can find native in Muse, and it's set up as full width here on the very top of the page. And it's just this rectangle element that we can see here if I select it and move it around. The logo and hamburger icon are actually just sitting underneath it. But let me go ahead and undo that. Now, if I click once to select the accordion, and then click again, that'll expand it for us to see and edit what's inside. If I hover my mouse over all this, we can see that my tooltip by my cursor says that this is called the content area. So I need to click again to select the content area, and I can then click additionally to select the individual elements within here. We can see all of these buttons are just simple state buttons given a responsive width behavior, and all laid out nicely and evenly to give us that constant browser responsiveness and full width appearance at all times. Now I'll go ahead and close this. But I'll also note that you can expand the little settings panel attached to this accordion by clicking this small blue icon. And within, we can see the option for overlap items below is not selected. That's what's giving the accordion that pushing behavior when it's expanded, pushing all content down to make room for the content area. Now you could always select this option if you choose, if you'd rather the accordion simply overlay all the content without pushing it. And as I mentioned, it's the same method of nav for all breakpoints. I can click down to our 320 breakpoint, and same thing. I can click to expand the accordion, and we can see our much more simplified version of what we already saw. So just make sure that when you're making changes to the state buttons and other content within the accordion, that you take time to adjust all breakpoints, since they all have a little bit of variety on the way that they're laid out. Specifically with this theme, there are 3 separate accordions spanning our 5 breakpoints. There's one on the bottom 2 breakpoints, 320 and 550. There's one on the largest 2, 960 and 1200, and a third one for our middle, 768. And they're all set to be hidden on their non-active breakpoints. So when editing, you'll just need to make changes to those 3 different accordions. So keep in mind when you make changes to the 2 smallest and/or the 2 largest breakpoints, it'll update both accordions respectively. So let's jump out to our plan view once again. Now I'm not going to dive deep into every single page because some of these are rather self-explanatory, but I do want to open the About page first. Starting with our buttons here above our first image. We have them linked up here in our hyperlinks menu to various anchors that are placed down the page. Now I'm also going to scroll down a little bit here where it says About the Owner. And I just want to point out some icons that we have embedded on the site. This person icon here is actually embedded from FontAwesome.com. And you can visit their site for tons of icons to embed. Go to FontAwesome.com/icons and you'll be taken directly to the icon library. Simply right-click on this icon and then select Edit HTML to replace the code with anything else. Let's jump to the Shop page. This page serves as the gallery of products, all custom built here in Muse. There's actually no e-commerce widgets on this page, but rather on the individual product pages only. So once you've designed your product descriptions here, you can select these boxes as a whole. And we can see up here that it's linked to a sub-page called Product Details. So if I jump back to my plan view, we can see a Product Details sub-page here with the more in-depth information. Now you can also right-click on this page and select Duplicate Page, and you can create separate pages for each product if you choose. But let's just click inside here really quick to take a look. You can see there's lots of sample text and room to customize. And right over here under Purchase, we have our PayPal custom buttons implemented. Very easy widget to use, but I'd still recommend checking out the tutorial video for it if you haven't already. I'm going to click over to the blog page now. And similar to the store, we have a top-level page here with each post preview, and you can then click on any part of the post to see that it links up to another subpage called Sample Post. So back in our plan view, we have a Sample Post subpage already ready to go that you can also duplicate as many times as needed. And if I click into this, I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom, and we can see our Discuss widget placed here, which adds tons of engagement to the page and allows your users to interact with your posts much more. So be sure to check out the tutorial video on this one as well for detailed instructions on how to set it up. And jumping back to our plan view, that just about covers it. We of course have the newsletter page as well that has a contact form placed, as well as a landing page for the contact form completion placed as a subpage. But all in all, a really nice looking website ready to go right out of the box. So thanks again for checking out our Barrel Select theme. I really think users are going to enjoy this one. And if you run into any snags or have any questions at all, don't hesitate to hit us up in support. Have a wonderful day.